Okay, so tuple, we are discussing about tuple. So exactly same, you cannot do the assignment. If you try to do the assignment into the tuple objects, you will get the error message. Okay, if I want to do the iteration, this is the way to do the iteration with the tuple. Exactly same, the same concept. For I in range of len of L. Okay, so if I do the alternate way, the exactly same, range spelling mistake, exactly same. Okay, दोबारा ही लिखो यार, L is not there. Okay, L is equal to this one. This is the tuple. This is the tuple. And if you want to, assignment something, let's suppose you want to do something, you will get error message because tuple object says no assignment, because this is the immutable. The same thing for I in L, then print of I, yes, exactly same. You will get this output. So this is the concept of the tuple, nothing else. Rest of things are same. The list comprehension, here we use the list comprehension. Okay, for example, I for I in, okay, range of, let's suppose 10. So this concept is called list comprehension. If I do this, now you will get the type of this L. Now it will become the list. Okay, and this concept is called list comprehension. Okay, but in the case of the tuple objects, this is not a list comprehension. If I change the braces of this, okay, if I change the braces of this become the tuple comprehension. No, it's not neither it's a tuple comprehension nor it's a list comprehension. This concept is called generator. Okay, if I do this now, type of L, you will get the class of generator. This is the only difference between the list comprehension and the tuple comprehension. By default, the tuple comprehension is no term inside Python. This concept is called generator. It will treat it as a generator. Now what exactly difference between these two? What is the difference between list comprehension and the generator? Now understand the concept. Let's suppose if I want to do this, okay, L is equal to I into I for I in range of, okay, range of this much. Now if you try to do this, now what will happen? It will give you the error, memory error. At some time, after waiting for 5 minutes, might be after waiting for 10 minutes, you will get the error message. Because why so? Because in the list comprehension, everything is loaded inside the memory, and after that it's doing this operation. And when it's performing this operation, okay, it consumes so much amount of memory. That's why it's give you the error message. This is not applicable. Okay, this is not supportable. You, after some time, if you wait for 5 minutes, might be wait for 10 minutes, you will get the memory error. Okay, so I am closing it with the help of Control C. Okay, Control C. So in this case, you will get the error message. Now same thing that I want to implement. So this time I am just changing it. I am changing these braces. Now it will become the generator. Now if you check type, okay, type of L, let me little down it. If I do this type of L, now you will realize it. This is the concept of generator, because now this become the generator. So as you see, only changes with the braces. When I do this thing, I use the braces, these square braces, then you will get the memory out of range error. Okay, if I wait for 10 minutes, if I wait for 15 minutes, after that you will get the memory error. But I don't want to waste my 15 minutes, so I simply press Control C and I stop this thing explicitly. Okay, now the same thing that I want to implement, that is my requirement. For the same, what exactly I have to do? I have to just change the braces of these, nothing else. You have to change the braces of this. Now this concept is called generator. Now it become the generator. Okay, now how I can get the value from this generator? For I in, okay, I in simply L, and then what I have to do? I have to print. Now you can see the output. So this is the output for the previous statement. So this is the only difference between list and tuple. Inside tuple, the concept is called you know, the list comprehension. Inside inside list the concept is called list comprehension. Inside tuple the concept is called generators. Okay, what exactly difference between generator and tuple? Generator, when I use this is the list comprehension. When I use this is the tuple, and this will treat as a generator. What exactly difference between these two? Here everything is loaded into the memory. Here the data is loaded into the memory when it is called. Okay, when it is called. So this is the difference between the list comprehension and the generator. So inside Python the tuple comprehension is nothing. Okay, sometimes this question may ask into the interview room. This is the only difference between list and list comprehension and the, you know, the generator. So बाकी तो वही है इसमें. ओके, लिस्ट के अंदर आप उसका कंटेंट चेंज नहीं कर सकते. एक्सप्लिसिटली अगर आपने चेंज करने की कोशिश की तो आपको एरर मैसेज मिलेगा. बाकी सारे मेथड ऑलमोस्ट सेम ही है. ठीक है, जस्ट ट्राई द प्रीवियस मेथड दैट वी लर्न विद द लिस्ट अपार्ट फ्रॉम एडिंग. ओके, अपार्ट फ्रॉम रिमूविंग. नाइदर यू कैन इंसर्ट nor pop. Okay, nor you can append. Yes, these method are the specifically for the list method. You cannot do it. If I try to do this, let's take this scenario. If I try to do this inside tuple, what will happen? Okay, L dot append. Okay, now append. When I press tab, you will not get any specific reference regarding this. Okay, so this method is not available. APPEND append of, let's suppose 1 2 3 4. Now immediately you will get the error message. Okay, tuple object has no attribute append, so you can't do append inside the tuple because this is the concept of the immutable. Okay, so if you want to check out the methods for the same, what you have to do, just press tab, length. Okay, license, this is not, this is not, L dot tab. Okay, only two methods are there. The count for counting the objects. Okay, L dot count of, let's suppose this 10. Okay, so you are getting this. And the second method is L dot index. Only two sportable method, index of 10, so you will get 0. Okay, these two methods are applicable. Rest of the methods which are available, you know, into the list, they are not supposed to process with it. So these are only two methods which are associated with this. And what exactly difference, the two major difference between these two, this is the major difference, the comprehension, the list comprehension and the generator. Okay, so now the next topic is your dictionary. Now important one and highly used topic into the industry. Now understand what exactly dictionary and what are the various methods that is associated with the dictionary. Now let's suppose if I do this, D is equal to this one. Okay, now this is the dictionary. When I press type of D, it will consider as a dict object. Okay, now it will consider as a dict object. So this is considered as a dictionary. So dictionary is collection of key and value pair. Okay, this is the collection of the key and value pair where you can insert key and where you can insert values. Slicing and indexing is not applicable. You cannot supposed to perform the slicing and you cannot supposed to perform the index with the dictionary objects. Okay, keep this point into mind. Now let's suppose how I can define dictionary. D is equal to 1 colon, let's suppose this, okay, comma 2 colon, let's suppose this. Okay, and there is no hard and fast rule. Dictionary should always into the integer. You can take, you know, this key value as something like this, Raj, okay, colon Verma. Yes, acceptable. Okay, now let's suppose you take this 108 colon 109. Yes, this is acceptable, but make sure this key should be unique because this is the concept of the mutable. If you try to use the same key, it will override the data. So this is the basic introduction, about the dictionary. You cannot supposed to perform the slicing. आप इसके साथ slicing नहीं कर सकते and indexing नहीं कर सकते. Okay, that is not applicable. So how I can process this dictionary? That is the main question. Okay, so for example, if I do this, print of D of 300. Now if I do this, you will get the key error. Why so? Because this 300 key is not available inside this dictionary, so you will get the key error in this case. If you do this, print of 1. What output you will get? You will get NITIN. How? I pass the key. This one is a key or this one is a value. Okay, this one is a key, this one is a value. I pass key, according to that key I get the value, and the value associated with this key is NITIN, and I got this value, that is the NITIN. Okay, so there is one more method. For example, D dot has underscore key 1. Okay, now it will return you 1 or 0. Okay, true or false basically. Now this method is not applicable inside Python 3. This is the method of Python 2. Okay, this is the method of Python 2, but if you try to do this thing into Python 3, it will not work. It will not work. Okay, keep this point into mind. Then how I can check it out whether that key is present inside the dictionary or not? For the same, what you have to do? Okay, no, for the same, if 1 in D, okay, that's mean this key in D, then what you have to do? Print of D of 1. Okay, else print key is not available. Okay, key is not available. In this case, what exactly happening? We are taking the advantage of the membership operator. Okay, I am asking, is this one key present into this, and it return me true. If it is true, okay, then this condition will be executed and we will get the value via D of 1. D of 1 mean that you will get the Nitin. Else, let's suppose if I do over here 101 in D, now this condition is false and you will get this else condition. Okay, and the else condition say this key is not applicable. This is the way inside Python 3, but if you are using Python 2, then this is the method that has underscore key, and this is deprecated method. This will not available inside Python 3. Keep this point into the mind. Same thing, how we can achieve something like this. So this is the very basics to understand. This is the dictionary, and let's suppose move further. Okay, just take a simple example, very simple example. Write a program to enter name and marks in a dictionary and display the information on the screen. Very simple program that I am showing you. For that, what I am doing, I am taking a empty dictionary. Okay, I am taking a empty dictionary and I am asking from user int of input of enter. Okay, enter number of students. Okay, let's suppose the person enter 5. That's mean you want to enter 5 students. Now what I have to do, I have to store this thing into the dictionary. For what? Let's suppose I have to store name of person. Okay, name of person. Now this is my requirement that I have to store name of person Ravi. Okay, and let's suppose apart from this name, what we do, we use the roll number. Roll number 101. Okay, the marks is 70%. Okay, 102, the marks is 80%. Okay, 103, the marks is, let's suppose, 92% and something like this. That I need this, but I want to ask from user enter roll number and enter marks. Then I have to store the data into the dictionary. That is my requirement that I want to be performed. For the same, that I am asking from user int of input of enter number. Let's suppose the person enter 5. That means this condition will this process is happen for the 5 times. That means it will contain the 5 different student and their marks. So for the same, I am using while loop. I is equal to 0. While I have to execute it while I, okay, I take it 0. I less than equals to n, not equals to. If I use equals to, that's mean it will execute 6 times. So if you're starting from 1, then you have to put over here equals to. If you're starting from 0, then you have to take care of this less than of n. And name. Okay, we are not taking name. We are taking roll number. Okay, we are taking roll number. The roll number is equal to int of, I am taking the data into the int format, input of enter roll number. Okay, the user will enter the roll number, and after that marks. Okay, marks, int of Okay, not int, just you can convert it into the float of input of enter percentage. Okay, you ask these two credentials from user, the one is the roll number and the second one is the marks. Now what you have to do, you have to enter this thing into the dictionary. Okay, so for the dictionary, that is, this one is the requirement. Let's suppose the roll number 101 getting the 70% marks, roll number 102 getting the 80% mark, roll number 103 getting the 92% marks. For the same, what exactly you have to do, you have to insert the data into the dictionary, and dictionary is the mutable object, so I can do the assignment for the same. So what I am doing, REC, okay, REC, this one become key, okay, roll number become key, and what I am assigning, I am assigning the marks. Okay, I am assigning the marks. Okay, I am assigning this variable, that is the marks. So now understand this line. Let's suppose this is my empty dictionary. Okay, this is my empty dictionary. What I am doing, I am doing this, D1 is equal to 100. Okay, D2 is equal to 200. Now what will happen into the dictionary? Now dictionary will take 1 key and 100 value, 2 key and 200 value, something like this. Dictionary would be appear something like this. Okay, so why so? Because this is the concept of the mutable. If I do this, D of 1 is equal to 1000. Okay, now what will happen? Now this 1 has been updated with the value of 1000. Okay, this one has been updated with the value of 1000. Why so? Because this is the concept of the mutable. Earlier I assigned the value of this one, but after that, after this line, I execute this line, and this time I am assigning the new value. Now this new value is added on the dictionary with respect to this key. Okay, so this, take care, always when you use this, dictionary, make sure that key should be unique. If you are using the same keys, it will automatically, update the value of the previous one. So keep this point into the mind, because inside class, everyone have unique roll number. What will happen if 5 students getting the same roll number? Okay, the condition of the deadlock, something like this. Okay, now university will confuse which one is 101 RAM or which one is RAM 102 RAM. Okay, something like this. So this type of scenario used in the real time case, there is one data type, that is the key value pair. Okay, key value pair. Then I will come back to this point. There is one data type that is called key value pair. If I categorize the data types into the 4 categories, the one is the document oriented. Okay, the second is column oriented. Okay, and the third one is your key value oriented. Okay, and the fourth one is your graph oriented. These are the basic data types that is available into the database industry. So in the documentation, the data would be stored in the form of the documentation. In the column oriented, the rows are stored in the, with the help of the columns. And this is the key value pair. Key value, in this data type, the data is stored into the key value pair. This is the graph based data type. In the graph based, the data is stored something like this, in the form of the graphs. Okay, the relation basically. Now if I implement this data type, the key value pair, this is implemented into your Facebook. Okay, where your user will treat as a key, and your value is treat as a password. Okay, your user is treat as a key, your value is treat as a password. So because dictionary are very fast, when you enter the username, it will automatically check your password, and it will return you, okay, this is the valid one, that's why it's process your data. Okay, if I do the same thing, if I store this data, the username and password inside MySQL, what will happen? Let's suppose there are trillion of users. Okay, on the same time, I don't know how many users are entering username and password. So your system might be crash into this scenario, or might be you will get the result. Let's suppose you enter your username password 9:30 AM. Might be if I using this MySQL, you will get your result at 10:30, the 10:30 PM. Now imagine it. You have to wait for approximately 12 hours. So this is not a genuine solution for this kind of problem statement. So this kind of problem statement handled by the NoSQL databases, and these are the types of basically NoSQL databases. Okay, if I discuss about the friends of friends, okay, inside Facebook you are getting the confirmation, you are getting the information, okay, or you are getting the recommendation. Let's suppose A knows to B, B knows to C, and there is some possibility that A knows to C, and you are getting the recommendation from, might be C can know you, Okay, so this is transitive relation. Basically this is the transitive relation. Okay, so this type of problem statement taken care by this graph based data types. Okay, so this is very little introduction about the types of the NoSQL, and I tell you the real-time use case where exactly this kind of things are used. And dictionary is fast as comparatively other data types, but make sure the dictionary, the key should be unique always, because here the identity is key, nothing else. The identity is key, nothing else. So back to this point, now what exactly I have to do? I have to store the data into this format. For the same, now I write the half of the code. Okay, now this one, record roll number is equal to marks. Okay, now what I am doing, I am asking from the user roll number and assigning the marks for the same. I am entering the marks for the same. Okay, now the next one is what I have to do else. I have to increment this value by 1. Okay, now this program will be executed. It will ask roll number, it will ask marks, and as soon as you entering the marks and roll number, it will start enter the data into the dictionary into this format. Now the next question is that you have to print this data. For printing the same, what exactly you have to do? For X in this dictionary, that is the REC, very simple. Now I am printing this data. For printing purpose, what I am doing? Print. Okay, now for X in a record. Okay, so what I am doing? I am printing /t, okay, and comma X, okay, comma, okay, again /t for tab indentation, and record of X. Now this is the way. If I simply print X, what will happen? It will give me all the keys. Okay, all the keys. Let's suppose you enter key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will give you all the keys. With the help of this key, I am passing this key into here. In the first case, what exactly happened? Let's suppose you enter roll number 101. Okay, it will now give you the value for 101. Okay, it will give you the value for 101. Let's suppose at this point of time, you enter these things. Okay, now your dictionary contains this: roll number 101, Ravi, roll number 102, Sham, roll number 10. No, sorry, we are not taking names, we are taking here percentage. Roll number 101, 70, roll number 102, let's suppose 80%. Okay, roll number 103, that is the 90%, something like this. Now what happening? When I iterate it, X contain first 101. Okay, the X value is 101. Now what I am doing, I am passing this X value over here. Now it will give me this. That is the 70%. Okay, now here the output is 70% for the first iteration, and X value is 101. Now into the second iteration, now X value has been changed to 102. Now it will give me the output, that is the 102, 80%. Okay, for the third iteration, now the I value become 103. It will give me the output 103, that is the 90%. You will get the data into the screen something like this. This is for the tab indented. Okay, on the screen that you will find a gap of one tab between these two items. Okay, so if I show you this code, let me show you this code. So I think that would make more sense, because I am giving you the assignment on behalf of this. Okay, so where is our website? I can follow. Okay, your folder is no, this one. Okay, and okay, I'm writing the same code. Record is equal to this one. Okay, n is equal to int of input of enter how many students. Okay, so I is equal to 0. I'm writing the same code. Okay, while I less than n, then what you have to do? Roll is equal to int of input of enter roll number. Control C, Control V, and and then the second one I am taking marks. Okay, enter marks. So here now what I have to do, record of roll is equal to marks. Okay, if I simply print here record, now you can observe what output I will get. Save as roll and marks.py. Now run this, you will get no, this is the for loop. No, this is the line batch. Okay, might be yes. Okay, for the same PySpace roll and marks.py. Okay, how many students that you want to enter? I say 3. Okay, roll number 1, the marks is, let's suppose 77. Roll number 2, the marks is 67. Roll number 3, the marks is 90%. And roll number, okay, sorry, roll number this one. What exactly happened? Why so? Because we forgot to increment this. Okay, we forgot to increment it. So this is infinite loop. So how many students that I want to enter? 3. Enter roll number 1, the marks is 67. Roll number 2, the marks is 77. The roll number 3, the marks become 89. Okay, now you will check. This would be the output. This would be the output in the form of the dictionary. But I want to iterate one by one. For the same, that what I have to do. Now I have to use the help of this for loop. For I in simple, you can use this record. Okay, now print of your rec of I. Okay, and here you can use I comma, and in between just take the help of this tab. I am taking 2 tabs and I am saving it. Now run it. Now you will get the output into different scenario. How many students that I want to add? 1. Okay, 3 students, this one, 2 roll number, this one, 3 roll number, this one. So this is the way. Now you can observe the output. The roll number 1, 34, roll number 2, 33, roll number 3, 55. So this is the way, and this is the complete dictionary, and I iterate it into the one by one. Now I think the picture is clear. If anyone having doubt regarding this, please let me know before proceed further. And anyone having doubt on this? Okay, so it's very simple. Now it's time for assignment. What exactly that you have to do with this for this time? Okay, for this time inside record. Now what exactly that you have to enter? 1 colon. Okay, this is the roll number 1. Okay, now this time you have to enter over here the name. Let's suppose the Ram. Okay, the city is Chandigarh. Okay, and the marks is 80%. Okay, this is the one record, comma 2 colon. Okay, and let's suppose Ravi. Okay, let's suppose Punjab. Okay, and the marks is, let's suppose 90%, and something like this. You are supposed to generate data something like this according to this. Okay, according to this is the roll number, and this is the information regarding the person according to this roll number. Okay, so this is the 101 Ram, Chandigarh 80, Ram, Punjab 90. Okay, so here for printing pattern that you have to print roll number 101. Okay, let's suppose the roll number is 1, and the name is, let's suppose, Ram. Okay, or you can do one more thing. Okay, this is the better way. You can do this roll number. This would be the good practice. Now your for loop also implemented. Now I need output something like this: the roll number, okay, name, city, okay, marks. Now roll number 1, the name is your Ram, the city is Chandigarh, the marks is 80. roll number 2, let's suppose Ravi, okay, Punjab 90%. So I need output into this format. Now you will understand what exactly the use of this program. Might be this program would be helpful into this scenario, I'm not sure, but might be this program will be helpful for this particular scenario. I give you this assignment. And one more thing that you have to keep into the mind, okay, this would be generated automatically. Okay, this would generate automatically. The roll number pattern should be generated automatically, and the pattern should be something like this. You can take your own caller roll number. For example, my caller roll number was this one. In 2002, my roll number was this one. 2002. This one. My roll number was this one at diploma time. Okay, and in my BTech, my roll number pattern was this one. See this. Okay, so this was this was the pattern for my roll number. You can take any of the pattern. You can take your own university pattern. So this pattern was at my diploma time, and this pattern was for my BTech time. Okay, so what you can do, you have to generate this automatically. Okay, if I am taking 5, let's suppose I am using this pattern, the first roll number would be something like this, and the next roll number would be something like 41, and the third roll number would be something like 42. Apart from taking this huge value, you can take simply this value 1001. Okay, you can take this 1001. Okay, next would be 1002, 1003. This should be automatically generated. Okay, automatically generated. So this is your assignment for the same. I did the basic code, and you are supposed to cover it into this format. Now I think the picture is clear. Anyone having doubt regarding this assignment, please let me know. Okay, perfect. Now move to the next one. Now the next is various the various method which are associated with this for loop. Okay, with this this dictionary. Okay, now understand the method that are associated with dictionary. Where is our Jamboard? This one is our Jamboard. Okay, so the method which are associated with this dictionary. Now I am elaborating the various method, but you can do to update the dictionary. You know very well. Okay, this, let's suppose the dictionary D404, you want to update it for the name of the Ravi. Yes, you are supposed to do this. Okay, this is for the updation that we already discussed into the previous example. So the next one is how to delete the element from a dictionary. ठीक है, dictionary में से हमको we have to delete the element from the dictionary. Okay, so for that, let's suppose this one is the dictionary. 101 Ravi, 102 Sham. Okay, now imagine it, this one is the dictionary, and you want to delete this 101. For the same, very simple, del of d of 101. Yes, perfectly. Now this one is the deleted from the dictionary. So with the help of del, okay, with the help of del is also used inside the case of the list. Okay, for example, this one is list 101, 102, 103. Okay, if I want to remove the existence of this L dot clear, what is the meaning of this? L dot clear mean it will remove all the data from this list. Okay, if I use this del of L, okay, del of L, now what will happen? This entirely deleted from the memory. Okay, this entirely deleted from the memory. There is no existence for this list inside the memory. So keep this point into the mind. With the help of this del, I am supposed to remove this. Now what I am removing? I am removing this key value pair. But if I do this del of d, now what exactly meaning? I am totally removing the existence of this dictionary. Okay, I am removing the existence of this dictionary when I use this del d. When I use this, that's mean I am using the one of the key value pair from entire dictionary. So this is the difference between del, and this is applicable with inside this list or inside, I think, tuple. It will work fine for the tuple as well. Please check it out whether it is work or not. Let me show you whether it's work or not. The picture would be clear. Okay, let's suppose this is the list 101, let's go 20, 30 and so on. Okay, so what I am doing del of L. Okay, now delete, list has been deleted by mistake. Now if I press L, it says L is not defined. You can check it out. It is saying L is not defined. Why so? Why so? Because of deleting the entirely from the memory. I am removing this thing from the memory. Same thing if I do with the tuple. Same thing if I do with the tuple. Let's check it out whether it is working or not. Del of t. I suppose yes, it's working. It's working for the same, for the tuple as well. So this is the del that is applicable with dictionary as well as into the. Let me show with the dictionary. Okay, 1 0 1 colon. Let's suppose Ram 2 colon. ठीक है जी. Let's suppose T. Okay. Now let's suppose del of D of 1. Now what is removed? It removed the key value pair, that is the 1 key value pair removed. Okay, if I do this del of D, now it's remove entire dictionary. Now you can check it out. The D is not defined. Okay, it's remove the entire dictionary, but in this case it removed the particular element. So this is the difference. Keep this point into mind. Okay. अगला जो मेथड है अपने पास, that method name is, okay, the method name is d.clear. Very simple, exactly same. Clear mean cleaning. Let's suppose this is the dictionary and it contains the data. When I press d.clear, it remove all the data from the dictionary, but it doesn't remove the existence of this dictionary. Keep this point into the mind. Clear mean to removing all the objects from this dictionary. After performing this operation, let's suppose your dictionary contain this one. Okay, your dictionary contain something like this one, Ravi, Raj and so on. After performing this operation, now your dictionary becomes something like this. Okay, so this is the clear. So del we already discussed. Now the next one is, let's suppose you want to do something like this. Okay, you want to do something like this. This is your data, like this. Okay, 100. Okay, and 200. Okay, 300. You want to convert it into the, this is the concept of the tuple inside this list, and you want to convert it into the dictionary. That what I will do the typecasting dict of D. Now what will happen? Now this will become the key value pair. Now your key value pair will be something like this. Okay, your key value pair something like this. Now it will become the data into the key value pair. This is the way to convert the data into the key value pair. Okay, now the next is length. Let's suppose this one is your dictionary and you want to calculate the length. Len of T. How many key value pair are there? 1, 2, 3. So you will get the output, that is the 3. Okay, with the help of this len method. Okay, so another one. Let's suppose this is the dictionary. 1 colon 300, 2 colon 200, 3 colon 100. Okay, let's suppose this one is a dictionary. Now what I am doing, I want to find it out. D of 500. What will happen? In this case you will get the error message. Okay, error message, key not found. Okay, you will get this error because this key is not available inside this dictionary. But I don't want this error. Then what I have to do? Now for the same purpose, we have a method. That method name is called get. D.get of 500. Okay, 500. Now it will return the corresponding value. If the key is present, then it will return you the corresponding value. Otherwise it will return you none. Now in this case you will get the none, mean this key is not present, and in this case that I am getting the output, I am getting the error message, but in this case I am getting the none. I am not getting the this error message, key not found error. So this is the way. Or one more way, let's suppose here 1. Now this is present. Now what output I will get? I will get 300. So this get method is very useful when we do the development with this dictionary, with this key value pair, because we don't know sometime is key present or not. The alternate way is something like this. You can do this. If if let's suppose this 500 in D, then you are supposed to print, okay, D of 500, otherwise you have to perform this key is not available. So this is the one way. The second way what you can do, okay, X is equal to, let's suppose, D dot get of 500, okay, just simply print X. So if it is key available, then it will give you the appropriate value, otherwise it will give you the none. That's mean it's empty, there is none. So sometime go with this, sometime go with this. Choice is again your. Okay. So another way what we can do, this is the one way what we can do. Now this time here it's giving me none. Okay, I am getting the none, but I don't want none. I want key not there. Key not there. Okay, I want this thing. When key is there, now listen carefully, when key is there, then it will give you the appropriate value. Okay, but when key is not there, that at that time I don't want this none. Okay, I don't want this none. I want my own value, my own message. The key is not there, or whatever you can say, oh, key not there. Okay, something like this. For the same, what exactly that you have to do, D dot get of, let's suppose 500. Okay, now key not present. Whatever message that you want to display, you can use that message. Now X is equal to this one, print of X. Now in this case, what output you will get? Now apart from this none, okay, you will get this message, the key is not present. Now you will simply get the message, key is not present. Okay, but let's suppose you enter here 1, you enter here 1. Now in this case, what output you will get? You will get the respected output. Now X contain, when I print X, now at this time, when I pass over key 1, because key 1 is present inside dictionary, and when it is present inside the dictionary, the get method will give you the appropriate value. So in this case, you will get the output, that is the 300. But in this case, when I use over here 500, then it will give me this message, the key is not present. So you can use this method something like this, or you can use this method something like this. Choice is again here, and this is, I think this is the better way. This task is totally, saved. You save the time to write this much amount of line of code. So this is the way. I think the picture is clear into this. And anyone? Okay. So yeah, we will discuss later on what are the methods which are available to remove the data from this dictionary. Okay, एक मिनट जरा वेट करना है यार, फोन आ गया कोई. Okay, so this is the method. Okay, now move to the next one. The next method which is associated with the dictionary, get method, and the next is the pop. Okay, pop for removing the data. Okay, the pop removes the entry associated with the specific key and return the corresponding value. Okay, in this case, what exactly happened? Now understand this scenario. If I do this, let's suppose this is the key value pair, 1, Ram, 2, Sham, 3, Mohan. Okay, so let's suppose I do this, D dot pop of 1. Okay, now this key value pair will be removed. In the previous case that we learn del method. Okay, we learn this del method. Now what exactly del method do? If the key value pair present, then it will delete the dead key value pair, but if that key value pair is not present, okay, let's suppose I do this del of 500, now you will get the error message in this case. Okay, you will get the error message in this case. But in the case of pop, okay, in the case of pop, if the specific key is not available, then we will get key error. Okay, same thing, we will get the key error into this case as well. Okay, in the case of this del, again you will get the key, this key error. So let me confirm this thing. Just wait for a second. What exactly difference between del and this? So let me take 2 minutes. let me use this. Okay, d, let's suppose d is equal to 1 colon 1 2 3. Okay, del of d of 1. Now it's deleted. Perfect. Okay, now this time I'm using del of d of, let's suppose, this key, and okay, it's giving me key error. Now the same thing that I am doing over here, del, note this time I'm using pop of, let's suppose, 1. Okay, now yes, perfect, it removed it. Now one more time, is it give me the error or not? Yes, in the both of the cases. Now observe this scenario. When I use this, again I am getting the message, but this time when it deleted the item, it doesn't return anything. It just delete that particular key value pair. Okay, vanished out that particular key value pair. Okay, the same thing when I apply over here. I try to remove that key which is not present. It give me again the key error. Okay, now the same thing over here, but here the only difference is when it delete this key value pair, okay, then it return the value, what value this pop is removed. Okay, it return the value. Now understand the concept. When we use this pop, okay, it return which item or which key value pair it's removed. Okay, and it return the specific value associated with that key. So in this case you didn't get any kind of, you know, the value after deleting this, after implementing this line. Okay, again same here. If I try to do this, same thing, it will give you the error message. Why so? Because this key is not present. Here the same, I try to delete that key which is not present, and again you will get the error message. Del and pop, this one is the only difference between del and pop. Okay, now understand. Now the next one is pop, d dot pop item, the next method. Now what it will do, it will remove arbitrary key value pair. Okay, arbitrary key value pair. Now understand this, what is the meaning of this. Let's suppose there are 3 key value pairs inside my data. Okay, there are 3 key value pair inside my data. Now I implement this d dot pop item. Okay, pop item, I use this. Now it remove this one. Okay, it remove this one. If I run again this, okay, then again it remove this one. Okay, if I run again this, then again it remove this one. Okay, it remove basically arbitrary element. Okay, arbitrary means randomly anyone, because here the items are very less, that's why it start removing the data from the backward direction. But arbitrary mean it can remove any of the key value pair. Why so? Because this is not a consecutive memory. Keep this point into the mind. The consecutive memory objects are inside Python, that is the list and tuple. It is not a consecutive memory. Okay, it's a random memory. So here the values are less, that's why it start removing from the backward direction. Otherwise it will remove the arbitrary, any of the, you know, key value pair from the data set. Now if I do the same thing, okay, now my dictionary is empty. As you can see, my dictionary is empty. Now I perform it, then it will give you the error message. On one condition it will give me the error message when the list is empty, when dictionary is empty and I perform this pop item operation onto the that dictionary, then you will get the error message, the dictionary is empty. So this is the difference between del, this is the difference between pop, and this is the difference between pop item. So basically these are three useful method for removing the item from this dictionary. Okay, so you can handle this kind of situation with the help of the if condition. If whatever key you want to remove, let's suppose you want to remove this key, okay, if 101 in D, then you are supposed to perform this operation, D dot pop of 101. Otherwise you can simply print the message else this key is not present. Okay, so to handle the this error situation, okay, for handling this error situation you can use this logic. So now I think the picture is clear. I suppose the picture is clear. Very simple concept. This one is the del, this one is the pop, and this one is the pop item. So the next one is keys. Okay, now I will show everything practically, so that would make more sense. D is equal to this one, 1 2 3 4, okay, 2 colon 4 5 6 5 colon this much amount. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to iterate only these keys. Okay, only these keys. I want to iterate only this key. Now understand it. For I in, okay, I in D dot keys, D dot keys. Now for I in D dot keys. Now what I am doing, I am printing this I. Now what I will get, I will get only keys. Okay, I will get only keys. I will get only keys. With the help of D dot keys, it will return only keys which are present into this direction, this dictionary. Okay, one more time. Now this time I am using same code, but this time what I am doing, rather than using these keys, I am using these values. Okay, now what output you will get, understand it. Now it will return you all the values which are present into this this dictionary. Okay, 2 2 3 3 4 5 6 3 4 5 6 6. Okay, this one, the keys method, is used to process the keys only. The value method is used to process the values only, and there is one more method that is called items. Okay, items. Now this item will return the pair. Here I am taking key and value, it will return the pair. Okay, now I am printing the key is, okay, key is, I am printing K. Okay, for value I am printing value is this way. Okay, so if I print this, now you can observe it. With the item method, okay, I am getting two pair, one is the key and one is the value, and I am printing the K contains this key, and where we contain this value. Okay, key value, and so on. This is the way. To iterate only keys, you can use the method that is the keys. For values you can take the values, for item you can take the items. So this is the complete scenario to iterate the key value pairs. Okay, choice is again here. Now the values, keys, and what else with it. So copy exactly same. Let's suppose D is equal to this one, 1 key 100 value, 2 key 100 value, and so on. I want to copy it into the Y. So for the same, Y is equal to D dot copy. Okay, D dot copy. This concept is called cloning. Okay, if I do this, Y is equal to this concept is called aliasing, that we already discussed in the case of the list. Okay, so this concept is called cloning, this concept is called aliasing. So take care of these things. Now the method which are associated with it. Okay, the update method. Okay, now what exactly update will do? Just imagine the scenario. You want to update. Okay, this one is the dictionary 1. Okay, D100 to 200. Okay, this is the one dictionary, and this one is the another dictionary. 300. Okay, 400. This is the one dictionary, this is the two dictionary. That I want to update this with this. Okay, I want to update this with this. So for the same, what I have to do, D dot update of Y. So this is the way. Now this items is updated with this dictionary. Now if I print D, what output I will get? I will get 100, 2 200, 3 300, 4 400. Why so? Because I updated it. With Y values. So now this Y value, this D value contain the all element that is present into this. This concept is called update. Okay. So these are the method which are associated with the dictionary. These are the basic method which are associated with the dictionary. The rest of method you can practice by your own. Okay, you find it out and try with them, but these are the method, 10 to 15 method which are maximum used when we use the dictionary. Okay, now the same concept, that is the dictionary comprehension. Here the concept available, that is the dictionary comprehension. For the same, what I am doing, square of this one, very simple. Okay, I am making x colon x into x. Okay, very simple. In the sequence of this, for x in range of, let's suppose 1 to 10. Now what output I will get in this case? When after executing this statement, you will get 1 colon 1 because 1 square always 1, 2 colon 4, 3 that's 9, okay, 4 that's 16, and so on. You will get this data after processing this. Okay, you will get this data after processing this. And this concept is called dictionary comprehension, same exactly as the tuple comprehension and the list comprehension. So for your assignment now, listen carefully. First assignment that already discussed, you have to print the data into the exact format. Okay, and second assignment, you have to implement the concept of username and password, exactly the same problem that we discussed with the while loop. Now you are supposed to perform the same problem with the dictionary. There we take these two static values, if you remember, user and password. Okay, but here what we will use a pair of key value pair. Okay, so let's suppose 1 2 3 is a user and the password is Ram. Okay, and you can take any values. So you have to perform that same scenario, exactly everything is same, but there you have to use this dictionary. Okay, to understand the concept of the dictionary, where you use these string values. Now you have to process the key value pair into that context. Okay, now the third assignment is encryption and decryption. Okay, it's a very simple code for the encrypting and decrypting the things. Now okay, prior to this what exactly you have to do? Take one more your assignment. Let's suppose this is the string. Here you use it, hello Ravi. Now I need output. Count the number of characters, how many times they repeat. Okay, in this case the H is only one time. Okay, E is only one time. Okay, L is 2 times. Okay, I need this output dictionary into this format. O is 1 time, R is 1 time, A is 1 time. Okay, V is 1 time, I is 1 time. Okay, so this is my output. Let's suppose another one is this one, A B A B A B and so on. String is something like this. Now I need output something like this. A colon, how many times A is there? 1 2 3 4 5. A is 5 times, B is 1 2 3 4 times. Okay, so this is the way to do the same thing. Okay, I need this output, how many times the character is repeated inside this string. So these are the 3 assignments. Try to solve these assignments. The fourth one is the encryption and decryption. If you done so, then try for this. Let's suppose your dictionary is something like this. Okay, A that contain the decrypted value something like this, @ okay, the B is a key and the value is something like this, question mark. Okay, and the C something like this, the value is let's suppose this sign. Okay, now you ask from the user what you want to enter. Let's suppose at the same you have totally 26 character up to Z. You have to assign the values. Try with 5 to 6 characters. Okay, try with 5 to 6 character. When your logic is implemented, then try for all entire entire characters. Let's suppose user enter this A B C. Okay, now you will get the error message. Do you want to encrypt it? Press yes, I want to encrypt it. Now this will become @ question mark and this sign. Okay, now in the next line again, do you want to decrypt it? Yes, I want to decrypt it. Okay, for the same, that what you will get again back your original string, that is the ABC. So this is the concept for doing the same thing. Okay, this is the concept of doing the same thing. So this concept is called encryption and decryption. Try for this. If you done by your own, very good. Otherwise I will teach you how you can make it. But this is very basic encryption description algorithm. Okay, this is just a program for the same. So if you have any doubt regarding your 4 assignment, do let me know before closing this session. Anyway, anyone having any doubt?